America! Only in America can you own bikes like this. You gotta love it, you guys. Charlie Fair, thanks for joining today. I have the privilege of showing you my 83 and 86 CR250s. Two bikes I race and two that are just in my collection that I won't touch. So let's do the comparisons of the two bikes and see what you guys think, which bike you like more. Both classes, if you guys are interested in racing, are great classes because they're super competitive. I race in the open class for both bikes. So we have like a 14-year-old, his dad races, he races. And that's what's so cool about the vintage racing is the people you meet. So his son hauls, you know what, if we're ever racing together, it's always he and I, either he gets a good start or I do, and then we're always chasing each other down. So it doesn't matter what age you are that you want to get into racing. They also have age groups as well for vintage class. I think they have 40 plus, 50 plus, 60 plus. So don't worry about age and racing. But to get back on point, this is the 86 CR250. It's out of the two bikes, out of the 83 and 86, it's definitely easier to ride and race. It is a little bit faster, like Massimo, our last race that we did at Motorland. What did you say when I came off the track with the 86?
I thought you got off of a CR500 because you were just so much faster on it, or that's what it seemed like.
Yeah, and like coming out of some of the turns, you could actually see me wheeling a little bit coming out of the turns where I just don't get that on the 83, but they both feel just as fast. So one of these days we will do a time where we're doing back-to-back both bikes to see which one's actually faster, because it's really hard to tell. They do feel the same, but even though we did the gold valves internals, which was a lot of work, Stillwell Performance did them on the 83 bike. So it is possible. You do have to mill out the bottom of the forks to make the gold valves work. So even though in essence these two forks should really be the same if you do that, and that one's rolling an Öhlins rear shock, but this bike still suspension-wise feels better. We did do the triple trees are from Advanced Machining, sorry. These triple trees have been really nice. You have 3 adjustments in them. I have them on both the bikes, and it brings the bars a little bit more further ahead. If you don't have them, I was bringing my bars up a little bit more forward to the front wheel, and doing these and just going, I don't know how many mils, but about that much further forward, which is a lot. It just feels a little bit more of a modern bike for both bikes. You don't feel as crowded, because you'll notice in the turns you'll be up, and instead you'll sort of want to lean back a little bit more instead of being up like on the modern bikes. So I definitely recommend these. I believe he's out of somewhere in the West, maybe California. And I want to say those run about $800. Another thing I did on both bikes, these arc clutch levers and the perches are really, really nice. If you get a really nice up close, you can see how nicely done they are. It gives you a little bit more leverage for the clutches. What else did we do? On the 86, we did EBC rotors and pads. They have a couple rotor options that you could order directly from EBC on their website. So a great upgrade for the bike. This is still running stock radiators for both. I did do an aluminum tank and powder coated it. The right Honda orange code. It's been great. It's only had a race on it, so it's still holding up really well, obviously. And the reason why I did that is to keep the 86 stock tank fresh. So if I do ever store this bike for collection, like I did with this bike, it'll be new. They take up a lot of abuse with wearing your knee protection and all that. And so it's definitely a plus if you go this route. I think the tank's about $700. It comes from Italy. But they do a really nice job, fit and finish, fits great. We're also running on both these bikes, Lectron carbs, and it just gives you a lot crisper hit when you're on the gas. So I think you'll notice the difference if you go to the Lectron carb if you're serious about racing. It'll give you a little advantage there. This is running a full Pro Circuit Works pipe silencer. We did a little bit wider foot pegs, and we did that on both bikes. It just helps. The narrow pegs is just really hard on your ankles and everything jumping. So I definitely recommend going for wider pegs. If we go to the 83, this one is running a DG pipe and silencer. You can still order through DG these pipes and silencers, which is crazy, but you can. I hope one day somebody makes an aluminum tank for this bike, because it would just be nice. This one would be great to have one. I'm running the same bars as well. These are the larger size bars, and they are the CR, I think they might be called like the Ricky Johnson ones or whatever. They're like the CR highs. I like those a lot. The tires I like to run are the MX33s. These have the 33 fronts, but we just ran Glen Helen World Championships this past weekend, and I just tried the MX3 SF front, and actually that tire, you could feel the difference between the 33 and that tire. It wears faster, but it is definitely a better, grippier tire, so I would recommend that. And that's from the track drying out and getting hard to being really loomy. That tire is amazing. Both tires are amazing, but if you want just for purely better racing traction and are okay sacrificing having to get a tire more often, definitely do the MX3 SF. What else should we cover on these two bikes for mods for these two?
Well, I was going to ask a question about the tires. Do the MX33s help at certain tracks more where the other tire will not?
Good question. They're a softer compound and a little bit different tread pattern. So that's just, even like the guys that are racing Supercross that I talked to, that's the closest tire that the factory teams are running. So I thought the 33 was the Mac Daddy tire until I went to Glendale, saw some of my buddies in the pits that are racing, and like Derek Dwyer, thank you, from Team Gas, like Barsha and the guys, that's the tire that they swear by. So I did try it, and you actually could feel the difference. So I would definitely run that tire over. It's just you're gonna go through the tires more often. For the stock bikes, this is as close as you could get to stock. We had to do an aftermarket exhaust. ZR1 did the suspension on this bike, but otherwise it's pretty much stock. This one has not had gas in it, and it's just gonna stay in the collection. And I actually, if somebody's interested in an 83 CR250, I actually have another one I'm building. Ryan at Factory Edge just finished the motor. We probably put $2,000 plus into the motor alone for full rebuild. I should have that bike done in the next month or two, I'm hoping. We got 3 builds going on right now. So we're pretty active in riding and racing right now. But hopefully in about 3 weeks that will be done. So if you guys are looking for a clean 83 CR250, I'll have one available for you guys. And then this is the 86. This bike actually got fully rebuilt from a gentleman in California that was a police officer. We pretty much bought it as you see it. Motor's been completely gone through from him. This is same with the other 83. Original hubs, obviously, rims, it has been respoked. Original exhaust. We kept the original foot pegs. So excellent shape. And we're actually building a 86 CR125 as well. So we'll have the trifecta, and once that's done, we'll do a video on that. That'll be pretty cool. But getting back on point of the 83 versus 86, I would say both bikes are amazing to ride. I think you feel faster and geometry-wise on riding. This bike feels easier and faster. But if you're gonna race in GP3 class for 81 and 83 bikes, I think the Honda is amazing. If you're gonna race 84 to 86, the CR250 is an amazing bike. But we'll put it to the test here in a bit and do lap times, and we'll go from there. Anything else, Massimo, we should add?
I think that's pretty much it.
All right, you guys, thanks for watching. Any questions, comments, post below, and we'll look forward to talking to you soon. Thank you.